Yo, what up? It's Teddy, Caravan Crypto, and today we're going to talk about, are you actually investing in whatever it is you're investing in? But specifically, we're going to talk about cryptocurrencies. Now, look, first of all, today the market is at 9,182. It has been like this for I don't know how long, man. It's been in this channel since the 6th of May. Okay, it's been in this kind of trading range here since the 6th of May. Hasn't gone up, hasn't gone down. It's very, very sideways. Um, which means, if there's a breakout, breakdown, flat line, right? Then after the flat line is supposed to be a breakout. However, we got to keep in mind the financial uncertainty that looms over the entire world at this point. And so I don't know what Bitcoin's going to do. We're just going to wait and see. Excuse me. But there are some altcoins that are doing pretty well. And, Omisa Go is one of them. You should check out the charts, okay? Anyway, we're going to talk about buying Bitcoin through things like Cash App, Revolut, Robinhood, these kinds of things. I'm sure when Venmo and PayPal start selling Bitcoin, which is what they are going to do through their apps, it's going to be the same kind of way, I'm assuming. But all right, first of all, long story short, don't buy crypto through Cash App, Robinhood, Revolut, PayPal, Venmo, unless you are actually going to own the coins. Because right now, what happens is you buy Bitcoin, and then let's say you buy $35 worth of Bitcoin, you give Cash App the money, or Robinhood or anybody else the money, your US dollars or whatever fiat you got, you give them the money, and then they take this $35 and give you a value on the screen for Bitcoin, but you don't actually own the Bitcoin. So you can't do anything that you want to do with Bitcoin. So, and I'm sure Venmo and PayPal will work exactly the same way. So when you buy crypto, you actually have ownership of the coins. This means you could do what you want with them. You can store them in one place, 100 places. You could give them to people at will. Like, you are the actual owner. You have control. When you buy Bitcoin or cryptocurrencies from a payment or trading app, like Revolut, which is going to be using Paxful to facilitate Bitcoin purchases, or Robinhood, which sells Bitcoin on their app, when you do this, you can't transfer those coins anywhere. Like, you're supposed to be able to send those coins out to somewhere, just like you would be able to do with your money. Just like you would be able to do with your money. Okay? So if you can't send that coin to somewhere, it's not yours. If you didn't set up like a private key to secure your wallet, because that's what you do every time you open up a Bitcoin wallet, like a brand new wallet, you set up your private key, you store that's your password, you can always get into it. So on these apps, they don't give you that option. Okay, so essentially you give them money, they create numbers on the app that tell you the value of those purchases as they rise and fall. When you actually own the coins, like Bitcoin, you own them. They show up in your app that's personal to you, that only you have access to. And if you lose the phone, all you got to do is enter that private key, it's like a passcode, on another app, and boom, your balance pops up, just like that. It's not crazy. There's a lot of economic uncertainty in the world right now. And the level of economic uncertainty, or that level of economic uncertainty, varies from country to country. But in all countries, the minimum level of uncertainty is remarkably high right now. Okay, it's advantageous to you to make sure that you own whatever it is that you own, that you can prove that you own it, and that you can transfer ownership as you wish. Now, what I love about owning cryptocurrencies, especially Bitcoin, is that the market will dictate its value purely. Okay, specifically with Bitcoin, I'm not relying on a CEO or a board of directors or even employees of a corporation to determine the value of the coins or manage, the operation of the project. I'm not relying on that. I'm also not relying on any regulation anywhere. There is no way to regulate this asset. You can't regulate it. It's free. It's free from censorship. I also don't need to hold it tangibly. I don't need to have it in my hands to know that I have it. I just need to know where my passcode is, my private key, and I can access my wallet anywhere in the world. Look, you got to ask yourself, about your gold contracts or your stock certificates or anything else that you quote unquote own. Do you truly own these things? You know, trading houses and corporations file for bankruptcy, get bought out, go insolvent all the time. Imagine a company that you're investing through moving offshores outside the jurisdiction of the country that you live in. Oh man, am I not recording? Oh yeah, I'm recording. Sorry, I thought I wasn't recording. But imagine these corporations moving outside the jurisdiction of the country that you live in and, you know, begin to default on their responsibilities to their investors. Okay? In a normal, healthy, somewhat predictable market, that scenario carries a high unlikelihood. However, in a financial market with 3 to 5 record-breaking years of housing prices, stock prices, the effective freezing of the day-to-day economy of citizens, technology disrupting staple industries like healthcare, oil, transportation, and, not to mention, a ravaging, highly contagious viral pathogen sweeping the streets, we can't predict what CEOs and owners of corporations may do with their company's value when it's time for the market to do what all markets do, which is crash. Okay? Every market has a high. Every high is followed by a crash. It's not a matter of if, but when. What goes up must come down. It's the law. This current market is absolutely no different. And especially in recent times, we've been seeing artificial injections and inflation into these markets to prop them up, to keep them looking like they're doing pretty good, in order for investor confidence to remain high. At some point, no market anywhere can sustain itself with artificial inflation. It can't do it. All right? It can't do it. And so at some point, this stuff has to crash. And there's a term used in investing. It's called fear, uncertainty, and doubt. It's called FUD, right? Fear, uncertainty, and doubt. That would accurately describe the sentiment of investors and just the average day working person in the economy today. Fear, uncertainty, and doubt. When you have that, when you have FUD, you know, you don't have a lot of confidence in the market. Now, the thing with the crypto market is that if you look at the March crash, when Bitcoin basically its value got cut in half, went from a little over 8,000 down to it was actually like a little under 9,000, all the way down to 3,800. That same day was when the stock market crashed, right? But here's the thing: is in all these trading houses, all these stock exchanges, when the prices of the stocks were falling, what they did was freeze trading. Okay, they didn't allow you to buy and sell anymore. If you wanted to get your money out of the stock market, you literally could not. All right, they put it in place to where I think when the market as a whole drops 20%, they stop trading. They halt trading. Right, they freeze trading, so you can't buy or sell. So you got money tied up in whatever, Facebook, whatever. You got money tied up in whatever company or gold or commodities or whatever it is. When you got money tied up in there, and you want to sell it, the people who are running the exchange have to give you permission to sell it. Like if everybody's selling their stuff, everybody wants to get out, they got to give you permission to get out. Now, the reason why Bitcoin dropped the way it did was because when investors realized that trading was frozen, it was halted, and they couldn't get their cash out of the market, they turned to their crypto portfolio, and they sold their crypto portfolio because they could sell it. They could sell their crypto portfolio. Nobody had control over whether or not they could sell it. These markets, these exchanges where everybody's buying and selling crypto at, they don't stop trading. They don't halt trading. If it's volatile, it's just volatile. All right. And, you know, when people dumped out and they sold and they got out and they got their cash, the prices dropped. And then immediately, like, I don't know, it took like 2 hours. The price of Bitcoin went down to 3,800 and then went back up to 5,600. Okay. And it wasn't, you know, it's still $3,000 away from 8,000, but it went back up like immediately, because when the price dropped, a ton of people were looking at it like, wow, cheap Bitcoin, I'm buying in right now. There's a ton of people who were in USD at 8,000, at 8,500, 9,000. And so, you know, when the price dropped, they were able to get, you know, maybe triple up on how much Bitcoin that they had, and other coins as well. And so, you know, I want you to keep that in mind. Like, these are the things you really got to look at. Okay, I own this, but do I really own it? Can I really access its value at the time that I need to? Am I really free to use this asset? You know what I mean? These are the things you got to ask yourself. When I purchase gold, do I hold the gold? Do I store the gold? Or did I purchase a gold contract? Did I purchase an agreement that I own a piece of gold that somebody else has? You know, these are the real questions you got to ask yourself about investing, especially in today's market. You look, you know, I don't see things remaining normal like how they used to be, because everything's changing. Okay, and I think in 5 or 10 years we're gonna look back at 2020, look at how drastic these changes were, and there are gonna be stories about people doing remarkable things and people doing unspeakable things and things that never happened before. And I you know, there's something that you could bet on. You could bet on the greed of human beings to overtake their sense of morality and to make moves that they never thought that they would make before. Okay, and we're entering, you know, this period of fear, uncertainty, and doubt, and that's when, you know, people's greed tends to start to kick in. And so think about what you're investing in. Do you actually own it? Do you actually own it? If the exchange that you bought it from, if it goes down right now, would you be able to pull your value from it? You know, think about it. Think about it. And these are really important questions you got to ask yourself, especially when, you know, you're investing. You know, if you're not some high roller, you know, Wall Street exec, and you got tons of whatever assets and cash you can liquidate if need be. You know, if you're investing like many of us are, where we're investing to try to create some wealth for our family, and, you know, generations that'll come after us, it's important to know, do you really own it? Can you transfer it? Is it up to you? Those are like really important things. So keep that in mind. I hope this video had a little bit of insight into, you know, how to invest into anything, and how you need to ensure your sense of control. It has to be real. It has to be, you know, factual control that you can hold over whatever it is that you invest in. But yeah, comment below if you disagree, agree, whatever, like, unlike, whatever. And you know, I'll see you at the next video. Thanks for watching. Peace.